So this remnant of Yaakov, or the house of Yaakov, they will escape. It says have escaped of the house of Yaakov, will never again depend on him who defeated them. We are depending on our enemies. Right now in all of these lands we were scattered in, we trust and depend on our enemies for everything. And the Most High is trying to get our attention here. That this group, these chosen ones, these ones, they're not going to depend on the enemies anymore, but will depend on Yahuwah, the Kadash one of Yasharal in truth. The remnant will return. See, without the Babylonian teachers, the remnant will return. You see, I'm going to tell you something, a strong point here. These Babylonian teachers that the Most High sent out this call, this message to, you see, they're not tending to this remnant because they're not giving the instructions from the scripture to this remnant. And without these instructions from the scripture, the remnant will not know what to do. The remnant will sit still and do nothing. The remnant would follow those Babylonian teachers. So the remnant will return. The remnant of Yaakov to the mighty one. This is who they're going to return to. We're going to return to our mighty one, Shadi. For though your people, O Yasharal, be as the sand of the sea. Watch out. Watch this. You know the Most High's people, he promised our father Abraham that his seed would be as the sand of the sea. So, as though your people, Yasharal, be as the sand of the sea, a remnant of them will return. Only a remnant. And this is the point the scriptures is trying to teach us. Only a remnant. Always remember, when you wonder why this one's not acting right, when that one's not acting right, they're not the chosen one. They're not the one. He didn't choose them. And when you understand he didn't choose them, then you know what you have to do. You have to do what your father say no matter what. The destruction decree shall overflow with righteousness. All right, now this is something that I focus a lot on Babylon and our people coming out of Babylon because the scripture focused on Babylon a lot and our people coming out of Babylon. This is where the scripture focused on. And the people, he woke his people up. Watch this. In Babylon. And these people led the charge. These people led the awakening. And so others have to understand, well, what about us? What about us? What about, we're in other land. We're in South America. We're in Europe. We're in Canada. We're in Australia. We're in China. We're in all these other lands. So what about us? Do we come out? Do we supposed to come out? Is destruction not coming to China so we can stay here? Destruction not coming to Europe so we can stay in the land of captivity? No, that's not what the scriptures say. Let's see what the scriptures say. Ezekiel 6:8-10. Yet I will leave a remnant so that you may have some who escape the sword among the nations, with an S, not just Babylon, nations. When you are scattered through the countries, you see, he scattered his people through the country. And this remnant is also those in all these other lands. So the mandate for you to come out is on you too. You're supposed to come back within the borders. If you're not in Babylon, you're the chosen one. If you're Gui, you're keeping you're doing Isaiah 56. You're cleaving to his covenant. You're keeping his Shabbats. You're keeping his commandments. You say I want to be a part of this. If you're doing this, you have to come out also and within the borders. He says, then those of you who escape will remember me among the nations. So here's that word escape. Will remember me among the nations where they are carried captive because I was crushed by the adulterous heart, which has departed from me. See, the adulterous heart that these people once had is going to depart. and by their eyes, which play the harlot after their idols. They will loathe themselves with the evils which they committed in all their abominations. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah. I have not said in vain that I would bring this calamity upon them. This calamity was brought upon us because of what the Most High spoke in Deuteronomy 28, the curses. It came to pass. It happened. And people don't understand this. People don't still get this until this day. How is it? How is it you don't get the scripture? Oh, I understand. I fully understand. I'm not clouded. I'm clear. I fully understand. You didn't get it because you refused to come out of the lands of your captivity. And when you're in the land of your captivity, you are in confusion, especially Babylon. Babylon is the leader. You are confused. We have the most confused people in Babylon. Those in all these other countries, you're not as confused as those in Babylon. Jeremiah 23:3. But I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries. You see, he's this gathering. We understand now. We have this under our belt. We haven't been taught by the Babylonian teachers. We understand what the scripture says. He's going to gather his people by his word. We understand what Baruch 4 and 5 says. We understand he's gathering his people by his word. This is how he gathers them. And they're coming out of Babylon. No. They're coming out of all countries. So if you're in these countries other than Babylon, the mandate is on you to come out also. The mandate is on you to escape. Because after the judgment of Babylon, you're going to see it go down. After the judgment of Babylon, it's the beginning domino effect. These other nations, these other countries, they will experience judgment. It's just not on the scale as Babylon. The whole land won't be destroyed. Well, I had driven them and bring them back to their folds, and they shall be fruitful. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with this cough, the after cough. And they shall be fruitful and increase. So these people will come back. This group, these chosen ones, they're going to come back. And they're going to be fruitful and increase. Now, I must make another point here. Point after point after point after point. Are you getting this? We don't fear man over the Most High. You know, our people, I have to deal with people that say, Edom not going to let us flee. Where can we go? They're crying. Listen, they are crying. You see, this is cloudiness. This is confusion on our people. This is deception on our people. We can't go anywhere without Edom being there. Wherever we go, we're gonna have, Edom will be there. And I'm looking like, you are not believing in the Most High. You have yet read through the scriptures. And this is this will be our fall. We perish for the lack of knowledge. This will be our fall. Not having an understanding of the scripture. Not coming out when we should come out. And then when you come out, wear off your drunkenness. And the Most High will deal with you. You will be able to see clearer. If you don't dibble and dabble in iniquities. If you're not still committing iniquity. You can come in the borders with all day long. Committing iniquities, and the Most High will not deal with you. You will still be confused. So yes, you could be within the borders and confused. We had some. They was in the borders, they was confused, and now they're back in Babylon. Don't you see? Don't you see they never connected? They are back in Babylon. You are one confused individual to even have a thought to go back into her. The Most High shall have nothing to do with you. Nothing. You came out and went back into her. Whatever comes to you, that's what comes to you. Isaiah 1:9. Unless Yahuwah of hosts had left to us a very small remnant, you must understand. This remnant that comes back, within the borders, back within the land, this is a very small remnant. You saw 7.5 billion people on earth, but the remnant is very, very small. We would have become like Sodom and would have been made like Gomorrah. Joel 2:32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. So this is to all those that say they call us the sacred namers. That's what they call us, the sacred namers. To all those that call us the sacred namers, keep calling on these other mighty ones. And I'm about to bring one of those other mighty ones out. I'm putting it together now, and I'm about to bring one out it's probably going to blow your mind. I'm trying to figure out how to bring it out, and I haven't quite figured it out yet, because his name is very, very tricky. It's very, very tricky. But you're calling on all these other mighty ones. You think the Most High going to save and deliver you? And you talk against those that's trying to call on the correct name, when we see in Joel 2:32 that whosoever calls on the name, not call on the name of other mighty one. We know G-O-D is another mighty one. I did the video, the real G-O-D of the Bible, and I let Strong say it. I let Strong say it so you could hear it. I did that so the people could hear it. It's one thing to hear from me when I come on here and I speak. It's another thing for you to hear it for yourself. Hear it from someone else. And that's what I did that. That's why I did that. And then I showed Yehuda. He's saying Yehuda. But then when it came to the Father's name, you see Strong's act like he doesn't know the Father's name, but he know Yehuda. You add one letter, the Dalet. How is it? You take away one letter, you end up with Yahuwah. But now you're saying something completely different. You see, they don't want you to know this name. They know there is salvation in this name. There is deliverance in this name. They know this name is powerful. And so that's why they had to hide it from us. For in Mount Zion and Jerusalem, there shall be deliverance. Listen, this is another key point. You have to get this. The scriptures teach us over and over. There's more scriptures that says the same thing. I'm just pulling out one here. In Mount Zion, in Jerusalem. In Jerusalem. This is where he placed his name. In Jerusalem. This is where we keep Pesach. This is where we keep our Passover. In Jerusalem. And we have to have Louis. We have to have the priest tribe. We have to have them. So the deliverance is going to come from there, not from these lands we're scattered in. Our people are waiting for deliverance in Babylon. They're waiting for deliverance in these lands we've been scattered to, and that's not what the scripture says. So there should be deliverance in Mount Zion and Jerusalem, as Yahuwah has said, among the remnant whom he calls, whom the Most High calls. So again, it's the Most High that called this remnant. Micah 7:14 through 20. Shepherd your people with your staff, your flock, the flock of your heritage, who dwells. Watch this, you people that's fearful of Edom. You people that's fearful we can't go nowhere. He's not going to let us go. Who dwells solitarily in a woodland in the midst of Carmel. Watch this. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, as in days of old. These people will be feeding, dwelling in Shalom. And no man going to be able to touch these people. You think man, with all his military might, all his power, you think he can go through the Most High? You have yet dug into the scriptures. You don't know the power. Look at verse 15. You have no idea of his power. As in the days when you came up out the land of Egypt. You see this reminder? Remember how we came out of the land of Egypt. I will show them wonders. The Most High going to show this people wonders. And we don't understand his power and his might. Have you read through the scripture to see his power and his might?